This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Good evening. The state political landscape has shifted overnight, with Labor set to claim another seat in the Legislative Council. The House of Review could become more of a challenge for the Liberals in the lead up to next year's state election, with newcomer Sarah Lovell looking likely to be in the box seat in Rumney. While Ruth Forrest retains her seat in Murchison, it's still too close to call in Launceston, with Union heavyweight Nerily Ellis favoured to beat incumbent Rosemary Armitage after the cut-up of preferences.
70,000 voters taking to the polls and 14 candidates vying for 3 upper house seats. Although the numbers aren't yet official, the latest are indicative of who's staying in or who's taking over. In Rumney, newcomer and Labor member Sarah Lovell is ahead with a 7% lead in primary votes against Tony Mulder.
The scrutineers are telling us that the preferences are flowing the way that we would like them to.
The win will mean Labor has a stronger presence in the upper house, giving them a boost for the next state election.
The Liberals will look at the result in Rumney and see it as a loss, but realise that Lovell didn't win it by the margins that they would have worried about.
While some members talked to social media early last night to call the victory, late this afternoon the incumbent wasn't conceding defeat, saying he'll wait to hear from the Electoral Commission. The preference counts still to determine the official winner.
We still have a fairly substantial Conservative bloc that seems to be split there between Steve Mav and Tony Mulder, and that may be the reason for the change in there.
This afternoon, Launceston incumbent independent Rosemary Armitage holding only slightly more votes than independent Nerily Ellis.
Armitage has the problem that she knows 2/3 of the electorate didn't vote for her, and that may mean, if she's polarised the electorate in any way, that they may not flow to her in even numbers.
Meanwhile, independent Ruth Forrest is holding her seat of Murchison after a strong lead against challenger Daryl Quilliam. Postal votes will continue being counted over the next 10 days. Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
A moratorium has been proposed on all salmon development until regulations are tightened. Marine Protection Tasmania condemning the latest Environment Protection Authority announcement regarding biomass limits for Macquarie Harbour. MPT says it wants to see better regulations, launching a petition for change. But the official environment watchdog says it's taking a precautionary approach in lowering the Strawn Harbour's biomass limit to 12,000 tonnes and requesting salmon producer Tassal to trial a waste management system if it wants to increase stocks. There's no doubt North Melbourne's Jared Waite led the Kangaroos to their impressive 59-point win over Adelaide at Blunston Arena yesterday. But today the 34-year-old player says he's still nervous over the outcome of his tackle on Crow Tom Lynch. The move left Lynch concussed and out of the game late in the second quarter.
Into the ground there. Or driven him into the ground more so than the sling.
Yeah. The only thing I think that saved me is it wasn't it was in the one movement. So, but at the end of the day, it's the MRP, and I'll just wait for them.
The final verdict is yet to be determined by the match review panel. Purebred poultry is becoming a prized possession. Growing demand and a poor breeding season combine to create a bidding frenzy at an annual bird auction today.
Ian Rayner never quite flew the coop, a third-generation poultry breeder who once again brings his most beautiful birds to Longford's annual auction.
My grandfather was a fancier many years ago, and my mother naturally inherited the interest from her father.
300 feathered friends, all purebred, are here for the taking.
$30, $30 got to be 30, 30, have to go, $30, 35, 35, 35.
These fowls have gene pools stretching back hundreds of years, most originating in the US or the UK. But this year, numbers are down.
It's been a strange season. We had a lot of rain, and then it was warm, and then the weather changed again, and it's just been up and down, particularly in the last month.
That's affected fertility, plus interest in these birds is soaring, making it a seller's market.
And the prices will range like anything from $50 to $250.
This right here is a brown red Peking cockerel, less than 12 months old. It's a tame young male who's most likely going to end up in the show pen later in the season.
Others are purchased as a pretty addition to a homeowner's yard.
He'd be probably weigh, when he's fully matured, probably 12, 13 pounds.
which sometimes double as a very reliable alarm clock. Tom Johnson, Southern Cross News.
North Melbourne star Jared Waite has passed on valuable advice to young Tassie players at a football clinic in Hobart today. The Kangaroos checking out the upcoming talent ahead of registrations for the club's specialist junior academy.
The man of the moment, Jared Waite, passing on his AFL expertise to Tasmania's future stars at an Auskick clinic. Waite's high after the home away from home win, not a distraction when it came to focusing on the kids.
Thanks, buddy.
More than 100 eager children participating in the morning session, some keen to show off their footy skills, others opting for a meet and greet.
This is what makes the game so good. This is why the game's been around for as long as it has, is the kids coming through and it's just exciting for the game.
A game these kids could one day play professionally if lucky enough to catch the eyes of the Roos talent scouts.
Trying to find some talent for the future for the football club. Obviously got a couple, Benny Brown and Mitch Hibbard that we've got from down here. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what Tassie's got to produce.
Registrations for the club's Next Generation Academy open tomorrow. Talia Higgins, Southern Cross News.
To the TSL now, and a 3-goal effort from Raymond Hill has helped Lauderdale overcome the Tigers at Twin Ovals. The bruising contest creates headaches for the Tigers, who slipped to 7th on the table. Also last night, Hobart City Demons claimed its second win of the season, easily accounting for Devonport.
The Bombers entered Tigers territory billed as underdogs, but the early scoreline silenced the home side's roar. The Tigers kept goalless until the second term. Only wayward kicking stopped Lauderdale from knocking them out of the park. The physical contest claimed a victim just before half-time. First gamer Ben Donnelly landed awkwardly after this tackle. He was taken from the field with a suspected knee injury. Midfielder Dylan Fife was exceptional for Lauderdale, 35 disposals and 8 tackles to his name, while Raymond Hill stepped up in the forward line, snapping 3 majors, including this one along the ground. When all seemed lost, the Tigers came out firing in the second half, booting 3 of the first 4 goals and closing the gap to 13 points. But any hopes of a comeback evaporated in the final stanza. Lauderdale had 10 scoring shots to 1 in the final term. The 32-point win boosts the Bombers to 5th on the ladder.
Yeah, look, we didn't play the style of footy we want to play. First quarter we just got outworked so much in the first quarter. Yeah, I just think whether it was the bye and the big break, I don't know, we didn't come to play tonight.
It was a pretty tight contest and we probably should have put them away a bit earlier.
Tom Johnson, Southern Cross News.
A winning streak for the Launceston Tornadoes has come to an end. The Tawns humbled at home by Bendigo in a 20-point loss. Meanwhile, the Lady Chargers were narrowly defeated by the Braves at the Doohan Entertainment Centre. Last night in the Men's League, the Northwest Thunder got a win on the board in a tight contest, while today the Chargers retained top spot on the table with a big win.
Hobart came into the clash aiming to keep their hold on the men's competition. No time wasted, the side raced ahead with a 23-point opening term. But the shot in the arm quickly flatlined, Bendigo matching the home side in the second period. Not happy with the scare, Tom Garlop stepped up. He contributed 35 points and 8 rebounds to put the Braves to bed. The final margin, 23 points. The Lady Chargers are now 2 losses on the trot after a slow opening term for the home side. Scores evened out by the main break. Alex Cipottone delivering 22 points to help get her team back on track. A seesawing contest throughout, the Chargers turned up the heat in the last period, but Bendigo made it home by 5 points. Retro round last night at Elfin Stadium as former coach Reece Potter returned as a fill-in, while a replacement is found for Ben Rush. The appointment didn't have an immediate impact. The first period stayed neck and neck. Lauren Mansfield continued incredible form. She slammed 27 points for the game. But the team crumbled under the pressure. Top spot on the line. Bendigo simply wanted it more. The final margin, 78 to 98. The Tawns slipped to 3rd on the table. Tom Johnson, Southern Cross News.
Good evening. Well, a pretty ordinary Sunday around the state today with showers in most areas and snow on the higher peaks. Not too bad in the north and east though. Temps though up to 5 degrees below the average. Hobart just 11 degrees, 14 in Burnie, 15 in Launceston and Devonport, which was the state's top, shared with St Helens. 13 today at Cressy, Scottsdale, Larapuna and the Friendly Beaches. 12 at Campania, Ouse, Strawn, Fingal and Sheffield, with 14 at Low Head and also the Bass Strait Islands. Now, the high-def satellite sequence shows a cloud rotating around that low there. Look at it, rotating and bringing that southerly airstream up over the state. A good view there, too, of Cyclone Donna over Vanuatu. Now, on the close-up, you can see that cloud streaming over the state with the west and south covered. A little clearer, though, through the north. Now, tomorrow, the low to our east and the high to the west will combine to have a southerly airstream over the state. Coast waters, and as I said, winds south to southwesterly at 20 to 30 knots, reaching 30 to 40 knots in the east and swells to 4 metres in the west and south. There is a gale warning for the east, including Storm Bay. A strong wind warning also for the northeast, the northwest and southwest. A small craft wind alert for the inland lakes and a warning to sheep graziers for the south and east. Cold in the south tomorrow, and looks like Hobart and over 12 degrees, Ouse 13. Not too bad in the north, Launceston and Scottsdale 15, 16 in Devonport. Sunny for Burnie 16, showers for Strawn 13, Stanley 14 degrees. Partly cloudy in St Helens 15, showers for Swansea 13, Ross 12 degrees. As we look to Tuesday, and a possible shower in Hobart, but nice elsewhere. Things looking mainly fine for us there on Wednesday, with showers across the state for most of us on Thursday. Showers in Melbourne tomorrow too, at 16 degrees. A nice day in Sydney, 20 degrees. And a possible shower in Brisbane, 24 degrees. And currently a few showers around Hobart, 10 degrees. Partly cloudy in Launceston, 11 degrees. 10 degrees in Devonport. And Rach, I know you've been trying to get me to take my shirt off, but I don't really think anyone needs to see this gut.
I don't think your wife would ever talk to me again. Thank you for that. Well, that's all your news for now. I will see you tomorrow night at 6. Have a great night. Bye for now.